And, you know, although I am definitely feeling much better than I was last week. It's funny because a week ago today was the day when I first had a whole day off from streaming, just basically in bed all day, unconscious, delirious, with insane fever and pounding head and all of that. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And here I am a week later. And although I'm back into the swing of things streaming, these symptoms persist, and they're pretty bad. So it is what it is. And again, I apologize. Another day here today where likely you're going to hear me blowing my nose constantly, clearing my sinuses, doing disgusting things. Nothing I can do about it.
Nothing I can do about it.
I predict, no exaggeration, the rate it's going, I predict another week of symptoms. Seriously. Like, this was such a bad cold that I predict it'll be like a whole other week until this stuff is hopefully out of my system, you know? Overnight, between yesterday when I did the show and this morning, I lost a ton of memberships on the channel. A ton. Okay? It's not just like a few. It's like, I added it up, and it was like, it amounted to hundreds of dollars. Let's put it that way. And there's a problem with that. And the problem with that is, that channel, as I've explained to you guys, okay, is only viable because it's funded by memberships. Okay? The content I put out on DSP Reacts is not content that I get to monetize and make money after the fact on ad revenue. Most of those videos either get claimed or revenue shared or outright revenue blocked because I'm watching content from other people. Okay? Again, apologies for this stupid post-nasal drip. So here's what happened. I didn't do the show for a week because I was so sick. There was nothing I could do about it. I wanted to be here. I wanted to do the show. There was nothing I could do. All right? I apologize. I hate being powerless. I hate being in a situation when I can't do the right thing because the right thing isn't viable because I was so sick. All right? So we did the show. It's all good. And then this morning, I checked the channel because last night I actually posted up the threads on DSP Reacts and said, hey guys, next week's React show is now in effect. It'll be next Sunday. And this one, I'm hoping we'll have Thanksgiving theme. We'll talk about, you know, hopefully Thanksgiving foods and traditions and things like that. The Black Friday shopping season with retail and stuff like that. And of course, the holiday season, I'm sure people will start to want to talk about Christmas. So I'm excited to see what next week's show will bring and what clips people will nominate. Said, please post up your nominations. I did that last night. And then this morning, I checked in YouTube Studio to approve everyone's comments. And I was like, oh shit. We lost a ton of memberships. A ton. Like I said, it was hundreds of dollars worth of revenue of the channel overnight erased. Okay? So, I am concerned. And I was afraid this was going to happen. That literally I missed one show and a bunch of people now are not going to re-up their memberships because they missed out on 1 week. And oh, forget it, right? It's just crazy that the entire support of that channel hinges on me being able to do the show every week. And if I can't do it one single week because I'm sick, that this is what happens. But this is exactly what I was afraid of. All right, maybe we will have a rallying next weekend. Maybe when the show is a new season. I feel like it's a new season. We're out of the horror season. We're heading into the holiday season. Maybe people will start to feel generous and support the channel again. That would be great. Okay? No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Friday night will probably be either Spider-Man. Excuse me, man. Oh my god, listen to this idiot. Sounds to me like Phil's the more sensitive one. Personally, I don't really give a fuck what you say about me. You people who said every nasty possible thing on the planet, saying something silly about me clearing my throat is not going to affect me. But the fact that idiots are so immature, they don't understand the difference between a personal attack against an individual for something you can't help versus an actual generalized observational joke. I mean, you have to be a fucking idiot. And you are if you do that. And you should be fucking called out for how stupid you fucking are. So what I would like to do is jump into the suggestions box. And let's see what it is that you guys have suggested over the last month and a half. And take a look. All right, let's just do it. So let's do it. Let's jump in. And by the way, we'll probably do this for a little over a half an hour. And then we'll get to shout outs. And then we'll get to our usual opportunity for open Q&A and all of that. I don't want to do the entire show. The suggestion box is full of stuff. We can use this all month. Like, we can do this all the time on the podcast this month, okay? Okay. So, have you ever thought of doing something akin to a sub Saturday like other streamers where you basically play inexpensive indie stream games that your members pick and you switch games every 30 minutes to an hour to a new game? I apologize if this has been asked before, and I apologize if you've done it and tried this before it didn't stick. I'm unaware since I'm kind of new here, and I love and enjoy all of your content that I do. And again, I'm sorry if I'm ignorant. Much love to you and your family. I don't really understand. I don't really understand the concept of this. All right? So if you guys can explain it to me in the chat. I have the chat right here in front of me. What is this whole sub Saturday, sub Sunday? What is the premise of this? Because to me, when I hear that, sub Saturday, sub Sunday, it sounds like, so we're doing a special stream where we're trying to get people to subscribe to the channel. But when you say sub, you're probably talking Twitch. You're probably talking getting people to become a paid subscriber. So maybe for me, it would be like Member Mondays or something like that, right? But I just don't understand the premise of it. Like this person is saying, the premise is you or your members pick inexpensive indie Steam games and you switch games every 30 minutes. Like, huh? So I'm being told this would be a stream only available to paid subscribers. So it would be members only stream here, Member Monday only stream on YouTube. Okay? And the other thing you're saying is have members pick or you pick a bunch of indie games and you play them for 30 minutes at a pop. So what you want me to do is buy like 5-6 games and play for 3 hours. Every 30 minutes I play a different indie game. Sure. What the fuck? Okay, what's the benefit of that? I'm at a loss. You know, I am. I'm kind of like scratching my head. I don't get it. Wouldn't it encourage memberships? Would it? Would it encourage memberships because Phil's playing 6 random indie games he's never going to touch ever again on a stream today and only members can see it? Would that make you become a member? You tell me. That's what I say. I don't get the concept. I don't understand that. You know me. I don't do subscriber or member only events. They don't exist. I don't do that. Everything I do has always been public and open. I've never had a paywall style event like that, so I don't know what the benefit would be. It works for other streamers, but it wouldn't work for Phil. Why not? Well, first of all, why does this work for other streamers, and why wouldn't it work for me? People will just leave if you paywall it. Moist Critical does a bad games night once a week where he tries to find and play the worst games possible. Okay, before we go further, I would just like to say something, all right? Can I please just let me say something before we continue, because I am going to consider the suggestion, all right? I am not a big streamer, and people have to stop having that mentality in their heads that Darkside Phil is a big streamer. Nighttime Tums did a 200-bit cheer and says, do I worry that I'm becoming too popular and I might ruin the chill vibes of my streams? How much success is too much success? Me. Too popular. Me. You're seriously asking me this question if I'm too popular on the internet. Me. Darkside Phil. Oh my god. Anyway, thanks for the top cheer of the night. I don't even know how to respond to that one. At most, I get a few hundred viewers a stream. At most, I get a few hundred viewers a video. At most, I'll get more than that, like 1,000 a video, right? Maybe a couple thousand if it's a big playthrough, it's the first few parts, okay? The reason, the concept you're describing, all right, is something that would work for someone who's huge. People are clamoring for their attention. They absolutely would love to see that streamer play something that they want. See? To have Moist Critical or Maximilian Dude or, you know, one of these big streamers and content creators play a game that you want is like, oh my god, I've always wanted that. It's like one of my big desires, life-changing thing to see this person play a game that I suggested on a stream. That doesn't happen with me. I'm a small guy. I'm a small-time guy. All right? We don't get thousands of people showing up to my streams that are going to become members overnight because I did a members-only stream. At all. What'll happen is I'll get low attendance on that stream because people aren't just going to pay just to show up to a random stream. Okay? For them, oh my god, the day that Moist Critical graced us and played this indie game, right? The indie game gets exposure. The indie game gets a bunch of attention. People might buy the indie game because Moist Critical played it. That doesn't happen with Darkside Phil. Darkside Phil is a small-time guy. No one cares if Darkside Phil plays an indie game. No one. This is the God's honest truth. All right. I don't. No, the game developer won't. I won't. You won't. Do you understand? It's very different. I'm not some independent celebrity like these streamers. The people ridiculously unfairly compare me to people who are 10, 20, 50 times bigger than me. And then they don't get, well, I don't get it. It works for them. Why doesn't it work for you? Because I'm not them. I'm a small time little guy. The fact that you act like I'm some big guy, right? Bringing in insane amounts of money and attention and everything that I do is ridiculous. I don't think that a members only stream, is going to ever work, honestly. Excuse me. That's always something that I've stayed away from all these years. I told you guys I don't like paywalling my content. I wanted that all my content is available to everyone at all times. Now, if you go the extra mile and you support, maybe you'll have the ability to direct some of the content. Maybe you'll be suggesting advertisements for the adpocalypse, right? Or games for a marathon or things like that. Shows for me to review and stuff like that. That's great. But that's different than saying, oh, only a certain group of people can even watch said content. You see? I've always been anti-paywall. You're a blatant liar. You're just being a dick to try to get attention, man. That is the point I'm making here. All right? You're talking someone who gets 300 views versus someone who gets 20,000 views. The scale is not there. That's why I don't do that stuff. And that's why people say, why don't you do this project that Max does all the time? Why don't you do what Moist Critical does? Why don't you do what Angry Joe does? Why don't you do what this other giant person 40 times bigger than you does? Because it doesn't work. The scale's not there. That's why. If I were a ginormous, in-demand person, I could do all these specialty events to rake in money. Oh, by the way, isn't it funny that if I did a members-only stream, all I would get is criticism that it's for greed. But these big guys do it literally all the time to bring in memberships, and they don't get criticized. That's okay, right? That's okay for them to do it. Greed is massively strong. They could paywall their content all day. That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. But if Darkside Phil does it, he's the devil, right? So there you go. So, yeah, this sucks. That I can't do the things that other people do, but I do feel like it is completely and utterly unfair that people do stuff like this to me. And they try to say, oh, you see, well, Phil just doesn't want to do what other people do. He doesn't want to improve. He doesn't want... No, it's because I can't. I'm a small-time guy. Just because I get insane amounts of harassment on the internet and all these nut jobs are obsessed with me, and because of that, a lot of people know who I am, does not mean that I get a positive result of that. I don't get 10,000 views on every stream I do where I can do Member Mondays and it makes me a lot of money. It doesn't work, okay? So that's why I can't do that kind of stuff. I didn't even understand the concept because to me, for someone of my stature and my size, what you described didn't even make sense. You understand? Like, that's not even a consideration of something that I would consider doing because it would be shooting myself in the foot. It would basically be isolating a ton of my audience who aren't members who can't watch my content now. And playing games no one's asking for, right? And then dropping my profits for the day into games I'll never play again. And that's it. I made no pay today because I bought a bunch of games for a random stream. Again, Moist Critical, to buy 6 or 10 games for a fucking stream, it's nothing. He farted those games out. He makes thousands of dollars a day. You understand? I don't make thousands of dollars a day. Got it? Okay, I hope that makes sense.
I don't need to be Mr. Popular and be making $1 million and getting hundreds of thousands of views on every video I put on YouTube